Ladies and gentlemen, today is an important day in the CoffeeZilla Army history. Today is the day we start a brand new series. I should have started this a long time ago. Honestly, scams are bigger than ever, and one of the scams that we have really not covered on this show, but is going to be a regular piece now, are PPP loan scams, aka COVID relief. Now, I think we can all agree in a time where people are more desperate than ever, where people are losing their jobs, it's important for PPP loans, things that are intended to help people who are struggling, are used appropriately and not taken up by people who are scamming the system. So we're gonna cover it. I'm calling it the PPP Chronicles.
Please, you could put it on. Thank you.
Something like the lie about the size of the PPPs and they will be caught. Oh, they will be caught. And if you have a small PPP, that is okay. But you must not lie to the government, not the government. Maybe a new girlfriend. Welcome to the PPP Chronicles.
We could give you hundreds of clips just like that. We have them. We didn't want this to go on too long.
Welcome one and all to the PPP Chronicles. Today, of course, we're talking about David Hines, a man who got $4 million in PPP money from the government and spent it partly on a Lamborghini. You heard that right. He got $4 million. Now, to be clear, how you get this money is you have to submit an application. And in that application, you have to say all the employees you're gonna save because now you have this loan and all this money. So what David Hines did is he fabricated his employees and he fabricated employment expenses of $4 million a month. Not to mention, he was saying he was spending that on 70 people. Now, I'm no Rockefeller, but that math doesn't really add up. If you're spending $4 million monthly on 70 people, that means you're spending an average of $50,000 per employee per month. You're paying them what, $700,000 a year? No, it's completely ridiculous from the start, and yet he got the money. He got that $4 million from several of these PPP loan requests. And of course, now the feds have found out, but not before he spent a good $400,000 of that money, $300,000 of it being on a Lamborghini Huracan. But then there's a bunch of smaller expenses. Like here he has, on the 13th of May, he sent $15,000 to mom. $9,500 to Hines Cash, $15,000 to mom. We have Miami Beach hotel stays. We've got a diamond store he went to, another Miami Beach store. Look, he's just going on a gigantic spending spree, this guy. And frankly, I don't blame him. He's got all this free money from the government. But let me say, I think the government should have known that Hines would have committed this kind of fraud because douchebags leave signs. That's what I always say. It's my saying. I've said it all along. I just made it up. But I stand by it here today. Guys, people don't just go out and take $4 million from the government with fraud. They leave clues before they do that. How could we have possibly known David Hines would have done a thing like this? Are there clues? Are there things in the past that maybe we should have realized that this guy is a douchebag? He said, sarcastically setting up the next clip.
Now at 5:30, a man CBS 4 News first met last week when he was busted by Miami police for not wearing a mask is now in much bigger trouble with the law.
Yes, David Hines is someone who refuses to wear a mask. He doesn't know if he can bring himself to wearing a mask.
I think it's hilarious. It's so ridiculous. I don't know if I can bring myself to actually participate in this insanity. I feel silly, you know?
After all, it's not like Miami's basically on fire with COVID patients right now, and it's not like that's where he lives, but actually it gets worse because this man, who at the time of this local news segment had taken $4 million from the government, also thought it would be wise to speak out about the unfairness of the PPP program.
The government, the Treasury, they gave $2 trillion for PPP loans for small businesses. 85% of it went to major corporations. Every small business I know of, they're shutting their doors. Can't pay their rent.
Here's this guy saying that, oh, the government's, they're giving the money to all the wrong people. Yeah, I guess you're a good person to say that, huh? He's saying all these small businesses are going out of business. No, apparently you're not. Apparently the program's working just fine. You got $4 million from it. Maybe small businesses around your town are going out of business because they're not forging documents like you are. So at this point, he's set for his trial in October, and in the meantime, he's out on bond for $100,000. Gee, I wonder where he got that money from. and he's currently living with his mother. Hopefully his mom is taking good care of him since he gave her $30,000, so that really paid off for him. But I hope that he gets a very serious sentence here and that it sends a message that, hey, your government can steal from you, but you better never steal from your government.